What's going on, fellas? Jimothy Spyder, as always, joined by my partner, LeRoy Cannonball. And we are out here in Week 11, coming off that Jacksonville win. Yeah, not only that, we're coming off of some major technological difficulties. To quote the great Tom Brenneman, I wasn't sure I was going to be putting this headset back on, Spyder. That guy is like the opposite of great. He's, a major homophobe, but I appreciate the point. It looked like this whole series was over, this whole channel. And somehow the equipment starts working. I don't know if it's a Christmas miracle, but what's not a miracle is we're down 3 here against the 49ers in a must-have game later on in the season. And it's must-have because we're tied with the pack for the top of the division. I mean, technically we have the tiebreaker because we beat them earlier in the year, but anytime you're tied at the top of the division, I mean, the next game is must win. So completely agree with that. I hate that we gave up that 3rd and long as we're setting up this whole video. But let's see if Coach DJJazzyJeff can come back strong. 7.5 to play, and they're dropping back here wide open. Maybe the fullback, too fast to be the fullback. This is going to be one of those halfback angle routes, Spyder. Now, we sound like a broken record out here that we haven't done our pregame. I doubt that young man, no, he's not the fullback at all. That's, all right, way to start the video. Horrible. We got a read option here and a lot of space in front of him. Trey Lance just going to take this 32 yards. Coach, I envy you. First, we are seeing of him in the whole mythology, in the whole lore that is Spyder and Cannonball presents the NEFL. Very good play calling from what we've seen, and DJJazzyJeff got to dig himself out of a hole here, down 10 at home. Offense has not been a problem, 40 points per game almost. It's good for 2nd in the league, and the defense, middle of the road, only giving up about 30, and it's probably better than the stats indicate because this Lions team does turn the ball over a lot, which stresses the defense, makes them look worse than they really are. First play for Coach. Nice little 4-yard drag, and we've seen James Cameron play better these last couple games. They are on a pretty big winning streak here, a 4-game winning streak, trying to make it 5 today. And I think a big part of that, of course, is Cameron taking better care of the football and better play calling out of Coach. 2nd and 6 from shotgun. Cameron, another short hitter. This one a HB out route. We've seen this abused in the past. Not sure if the sliders have changed or just the whole game meta. But I know last year that HB out route was very tough to stop. A ball downfield that should have been picked off. Dropped way back there. Looks like he's trying to get it to Metcalf. Yeah, and that's Greenlaw, and it's a cliche, but they say it for a reason. If they had hands, they would be receivers. That's a big reason why they're defensive backs, and, we might have jinxed Cameron talking him up. Here we go, 2nd and 10, and taking a sack from the blind side, Nick Bosa. It's always going to be a problem. Coach had the right idea to begin with, calling these little quick hitters. Now these longer developing routes, you're letting a guy like Nick Bosa, so talented, so spicy, just get in there and feast on you. 3rd and 19, got the corner route, looks to be close to a first. And down 10 here with 5.5 to play. It's a must-go-for-it situation. There's Jameson Williams down there. His 8th catch of the day, just under 100 yards, 93 yards. Here we go, 4th and 5. Cameron to the left side of the field. This one is picked off. It's not dropped. That could be the dagger, big guy. This is that defensive back Thomas out there making a all-time great jump on the ball. He ran this route better than the receiver did. And yeah, I can see how this game is most likely over. Unless Coach I envy you does something a little tricky or gets a little silly with the football here. No, just going to hand it off, a good call. It's going to get an easy 9. Davis Price getting 5 yards a pop on the ground today. We're going to need a miracle out here in Detroit. Some type of sack fumble. Maybe an int of our own. Another handoff. Should get the first here, and it does. Coach, I envy you. Man, I envy you right now. Got that chew clock on. Being very smart. Another read option. Gonna pitch. But this one is a fumble. A bad pitch. And then he said, get off me. He's going to take this back, Spyder. Just what we needed. We talked about it. We need a miracle. We need coach to do something a little bit silly. Call in the read option, putting the ball, in a vulnerable position. Trey Lance, who's only played like 6 games in his whole life, if you go through his stats, obviously has not run that play enough, and Kalen Barnes taking this ball all the way back. We got a game in Detroit. And it's one thing to pick up the ball and start running, but to just shrug a man off of you like that. This is not even a big guy, Spyder, but he had big man energy on this play. I wonder what's hanging down underneath that jock strap. He's got that big dong energy, Spyder. Well, now we've went and lost 95% of the few viewers that we get. Thank you for that, big guy. But 8th turnover out here today, 4 for each team. And you want to talk about a swing in momentum, it doesn't get much bigger than that, because don't forget, the 49ers and Coach I Envy You, they were in field goal position. So that's about a 10-point swing at least. These pesky Lions just refuse to get put away. Here we go. They're going to pass here, a wide open in route. Middle of the field is always very hard to defend. That story has not changed today. 49ers still with chew clock on, now going to run a more traditional handoff. Gets stuck right at the line of scrimmage. Coach DJJazzyJeff holding those timeouts. Yeah, and I don't mind the strategy. I think it's okay. See what happens here on 2nd and 9 before we start burning out those little time bombs. There's a snap. It's going to be a throw. That HB out route going to get a big chunk here. DJ still not calling timeout. Content to take it to the 2-minute warning. Again, don't mind it. It's a very close 3rd down, so you'd hate to burn one here. I mean, eventually you got to start calling them. But I kind of like the strategy. Let's see what happens again. Hopefully the D can get a big stop here on broadcast. Here we go, 3rd and 2, crucial play, another handoff, just enough, I think. No, it's 4th and inches. Wow, and that's a favorable spot, I believe. But at the last second, it did look like he kind of got pulled right before he passed that line. I don't know, I have biased eyeballs, Spyder, so it's hard for me to say. And they are going to go for it here. I think this is the call, especially with all the momentum Detroit has. I mean, it's hard to think you're going to stop them. If you give them the ball back, a fullback dive, and that's going to be enough, big guy. Yeah, giving it to the big battering ram back there. Love seeing the fullback get involved. Wish they would give the fullback the ball a little bit more, and not just in these, inches situations. The league as a whole has just said, screw the fullback position, and I think that's really sad. 1st and 10 here, trying to call in for another Christmas miracle here. Spinning out of a would-be tackler. Picking up 5. DJ out of timeouts now. And if you do stop him, you might get it back with, 15 seconds or so. Assuming I Envy You runs both times and drips the clock. See what happens here. 2nd and 5. Looks like they got the heavies out there. A couple tight ends, maybe 3 tight ends. And another handoff and a lot of room. Some indecision from the 49ers. Looked like there was a 1st down there. All right, defense, do we still have life in us? Another handoff, this one broken through. And it's not going to be enough, at least out of our defense. I really phrased that poorly. Yeah, that was very confusing. If anyone was listening to this on somehow on radio, they would think that we stopped them. Sorry to all blind viewers. Don't know why you're viewing anything if you're blind. But we lost this one, Cannonball. And it's hard to even accept it. Honestly, I see Coach I Envy You. Great game. Good job not blowing it here at the end. But we got that fumble recovery. It just felt. And the way this season has went, how we were 2-4 at one point, and I got to keep stressing that narrative because it is amazing what Coach has been able to do. Rip off 4 straight, but you drop one here at home, and God forbid the Pack wins this week, because then we find ourselves in 2nd place. Well, that's going to do it. Condolences to Coach DJ. You are now 2-3 on the season, at least on broadcast. We might be bad luck, Cannonball. Thank you so much for watching. Always so nice having you with us. Yep, we'll see you next week.